Hey now. Happy to be talking to you today. My name is Mark Zuppo, Mayor, Girard, Ohio, which happens to be in the heart of the Mahoning Valley. I want to start off by talking about some things we have going on in the community right now. Well, I can tell you what we've done since I've been in office since January 1st. We have our ambulance service back up and running here in the city of Girard. Thanks to our friends in Trumbull County and the County Commissioner's Office, especially Mauro Canela Mesa and Denny Malloy, who are very supportive. Billy Hart, who's the head of maintenance there in the county, heard that they had some extra money for an ambulance that someone else didn't use. So we jumped right in. Billy connected us with the commissioners, and they gave us $225,000, which allowed us to buy a new ambulance. The great thing about the Girard Fire Department is that we've always had all paramedics instead of just EMTs. So oftentimes over the last 20 years since they had shut down the ambulance service in Girard, Lane Ambulance, which was had their headquarters in Girard, would go to your house. If they didn't get there first, Girard was always usually there first, but we could go there and stabilize somebody, but we could not transport them. So, and then if Lane came out and if someone had a heart attack or something along those lines, you have to have a paramedic on the ambulance to transport. Sometimes Lane would send out just EMTs and no paramedics. And so our paramedic would have to get on their ambulance and go down to the emergency room with them. So it became a problem. And, we did some studies, and last year alone, people in the city of Girard spent $530,000 out of pocket for ambulance service. So that's after their insurance companies paid whatever their allowables were. People's out-of-pocket costs were $530,000. They're no longer going to have those costs. We are going to do a soft billing, so we will still take insurances for people that live or work in the city of Girard, and whatever their insurance pays for, that's what we will accept, and there will be no bill to the patient. People of Girard, so far, this has been in place for a couple months now, and people have been really happy with the service. Our ambulance service is usually 2 to 3 minutes lead time to get to your house. And people like seeing people that they know in the community, firefighters that have been stationed there for years. And they have faith, and it puts their mind at ease quite a bit. So happy to report that the ambulance service is back up and running. Happy to also report that we've put a lot more money into our parks and recreation. So we are no longer asking volunteers of the Girard Baseball Association or the Girard Youth Soccer Leagues to work on the fields and then raise money and then go coach the kids. So we've taken the work on the fields portion out of the equation. We've upped the ante in our recreation department, invested more money into recreation, and it's gone really well. Our recreation director, Mike Cardero, really works hard. He works too hard sometimes. I'm trying to get him to take some time off, but at any rate, recreation department is in great shape. We've got a few things that are in the very near future. We've got cannabis dispensaries coming to Girard. We've got at least one, possibly two. I can't comment much more than that at this point. They will be coming, but there's a lot of back and forth. I was on the phone with them both this morning as well as the state. So, but they'll be coming. It's the law of the land in the state of Ohio now. So, and we will make sure that the companies that have come have committed to me that they will use commissioned police officers in their facilities. So they'll use Girard police officers when available. If they aren't available, then they'll go to Trumbull County Sheriff's Department or the Niles Police Department and neighboring police departments, whomever they can get, as long as they're commissioned police officers, with Girard being first on the list. That will generate revenue that's we wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. I'd say that a rough estimate of, say, $10 million a year in revenue by one of these dispensaries would net us approximately close to $500,000 in tax revenue. If I brought a business into Girard right now, employing, say, 300 people at decent wages, I could not get that kind of tax revenue from that. We couldn't get half of that. So it's a major windfall for the city, and that's why it's so important that I'm trying to get two, because I think that would make it's going to make us that much more money. And so the goal is to hit some revenue targets so that we can eliminate some of the things that I don't like that we do to generate revenue in the city of Girard. Now, I'm not going to get too much into that right now, but you can probably all guess. The other things that are going on right now, we've got a social club for poker coming to town. I'm trying to fill up buildings that have been sitting vacant for quite a while. When these guys approached me, I thought, I can't imagine that that's legal. So I contacted the Attorney General's office, our law director. It is definitely legal as a social club. So you would pay a membership fee when you walk in the door, and then they're not allowed to take any money off the poker tables. So there's companies that run, there's people that are running poker games right now in nonprofit organizations that are making a lot of money doing it, and I don't believe Girard is seeing any tax money from that. So the nonprofits have shared some of the wealth there, but the city has not. So this will generate some additional tax revenue for the city, and they'll be located in the old Dollar General store on Churchill Road. And his goal is to be open before the end of the year. So I saw a construction company there the other day, so he's getting started on doing some remodeling inside. So that's going to be exciting. I think there's another piece of property that we're negotiating right now with a very prominent figure in Girard who wants to donate some land to us, and we will be working with the Port Authority to do that, and then in turn probably turn around and through the Port Authority donate that property to this other organization that wants to put a huge testing facility for high school athletes in, as well as a training and fitness place for high school athletes specifically, but it will be open for adults also. I can't speak more to that subject yet because we haven't closed the deal, but we're getting close. I'm working every day with our zoning department, the Trumbull County Health Department on getting some of the buildings in town that have been sitting vacant for many, many, many years up to speed and trying to get businesses into those buildings. So I feel like I'm a real estate broker some days. We've got a company coming to town next week to talk to me about a grocery store. I can't talk specifically about where we would put that at this point. You could probably guess if you live in Girard, but I would say that it's exciting. I've been doing this for 10 months, calling every single grocery franchise I could think of or someone suggests to me. They've all come back with the same answer. The market research doesn't show that Girard will support a grocery store. Well, they said that the dollar stores, because they sell some groceries, impact those market research studies. And we have since put a moratorium on any more dollar stores coming to Girard because it has impacted those studies. And the company that's coming in, frankly, does not use those studies, which is fortunate for us. They use a radius. So they look at how many people live within a 10-minute radius of Girard. So the companies are using that market research, say, well, you have only 10,000 people there, and maybe you draw a few from other communities, and it doesn't warrant a grocery store. This company says we look at a 10-minute radius, and in a 10-minute radius, Girard can represent 53,000 people. So they are definitely interested in coming into town. I've got my administrative assistants, as we speak, are calling all the business owners on the 422 corridor in the city of Girard to see if they'll put "Welcome to Girard" signs for this grocery outlet place. I'm trying to really roll out the red carpet for them and make it a place that they want to be. I am continually promoting Girard as being in the heart of the valley, which we are. So, I think we've never taken advantage of that location. I was a councilman in the 90s when we put signs up. I asked them to put signs up saying, "Welcome to Girard, the heart of the valley." Okay. And then no one ever took advantage of the fact that we are in the heart of the valley. We're in between Youngstown and Warren. Interstate 80 goes through Girard. Route 11 goes through Girard. 422, a river, and a railroad. I plan on taking full advantage of it, and so far, so good. I think we have a big thing coming up here next month. We call it Christmas in the Park. And I think this is the work of our recreation director. There's a group of women called Helping Hands that is helping Mike Cardero with this project. They're getting sponsors. It's going to be a really neat affair for young people. It's on December 21st. It starts at 4 o'clock in Todd Park. They've got, I think, 17 vendors so far that will be there. Our goal is to provide all this stuff to the kids at Girard at no cost. That's why we've asked for sponsorships, et cetera. They've also started a contest on who can decorate their business storefront windows for Christmas the best. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to give them as the first prize, but I'm sure they'll tell me at some point here moving forward. But so far, the business community has really jumped in, and I think they appreciate the efforts that we're making here. That's all I have going on right now that I can specifically talk about. Well, one other thing I will talk about is the fact that we had to raise our water rates, and that was unfortunate, but it was to get us out of trouble with a bill that we owed the city of Niles for our water from the last few years before I got in office. We owed them $1.6 million. So we had to borrow money. We had to deplete our water fund. We had to raise people's rates. But the good news is we negotiated the lowest rate that Niles offers to anybody. So we've got where they were versus where we're going is about a 52% change in our favor. So that's what I've got going on for the happenings right now for this month. I think we want to jump to a company spotlight. And Twins Salon is our company spotlight of the month.
I'm Kyle Condon.
I'm Quinn Condon, and we own Twins Beauty Salon in Girard. So our business is a full-service salon covering hair, nails, lashes, makeup, anything you think of, we try to offer.
We started our business on January 4th of 2021. As of this January, we'll be open for almost 3 years. We picked Girard because to us it's home. We've lived here our whole lives, went to school here. All our friends and family are from here. So when a place opened up, we jumped off the opportunity, and thanks to the people of Girard, our business has grown and survived to where it is now.
Kyle and Quinn, I love those guys. I had did some junior high basketball coaching for many, many years, and had those guys in junior high basketball. And, I thought they're good guys. They're kind of quiet guys. I wondered what the future was going to hold for them. I am so proud of those guys. They have really taken off with their business, and they're growing their business as they mentioned, I believe, and expanding it. So couldn't be prouder of the Condon boys and what they've done there. And I look for those are the type of companies and businesses that will be the backbone, the central nervous system of our downtown revitalization program. Moving on to our employee of the month. We have two of them this month. First one is Paul Stevens. Paul is a supervisor in our street department. He's kind of the second in command there. And, what we found when we came into office here, when I say we, I'm talking about myself and my safety service director, Sal Ponzio, was that we have some really great employees in the city of Girard. And when we came in, it would be easy for us to just come in and start dictating policy to them. It's kind of not our style. It's not my style. It's not Sal's style. We've engaged our employees in the process, and we value what they bring to the table. They've got the knowledge in their department. I don't. Sal certainly doesn't. So we've tried to show them that we value their opinion, and we work with them every day. They check in daily with us, and we go through lists of things. One thing I know, I will tell you, the street department, Paul has helped spearhead. If you notice downtown, I mean, they keep it clean. I said I want the downtown to always look clean. I don't want there to be weeds growing out of the sidewalks, stuff like that. And they've been great at doing that. So we also instituted a plan for painting our fire hydrants. We had some fire hydrants that are all rusted out and stuff like that. And Paul and Tommy Watts, who kind of runs the street department, have helped us tremendously by volunteering their people to go out and do that job. And it's just the little things. I'm a big believer in attention to detail. Okay, and I think the guys in the street department have shown that they have that attention to detail. So we appreciate Paul, and he does such a great job. Was nominated by his supervisor, Tom Watts, and he was honored at our last council meeting. And then he will, as part of your reward, you get a free day off, which everybody takes advantage. And it costs the city nothing, because we've made sure that every department where they take a day off, it's a day that we don't have to call out someone for overtime. So that's part of the agreement, and it's worked really well so far. Our next employee, so we had two employees of the month this month, and first one was Paul, the second one was Bob Norman. Bob's such a shy guy, he didn't want to send his picture in for us to put up there. So Bobby Norman, I've known him most of my life, does a great job. He's our lead dispatcher. And, his twin brother is John Norman, who's our chief, okay? John did not nominate his twin brother, okay? I got the nomination from others in the police department. If anyone remembers, was following the news a few months ago, we had a little toddler that almost drowned in a koi pond that we've since banned. Okay, but and J.J. Silverman did a great job of getting up there. Then the fire department was there within seconds after J.J. got there, all coordinated by our chief dispatcher, Bobby Norman. Bob does a great job. He trains everybody. He's always pleasant. He's a great representative to our community. We love him dearly, as we do Paul Stevens, and he's a great choice for another employee of the month. Looking into the future, I think we've got a lot of projects in our pipeline right now. I've mentioned downtown revitalization. That's an ongoing effort. Sometimes I feel like I'm a real estate broker because I have to spend so much time talking to people that own buildings, and I'm recruiting people to move into those buildings. A main focus for me right now is the recently vacated Rite Aid store at Churchill and State Street. We've got 3 potential businesses to go in there. So obviously I can't comment on any of those yet, but rest assured that that's at the very forefront of anything I'm doing now is to fill that vacant property. Vacant buildings downtown, we've looked at a number of different opportunities. We've got people wanting to come to Girard, recognizing that we're in the heart of the valley, recognizing that with the cannabis stores coming, there's other businesses that are going to pop up because there's going to be a lot more traffic coming through Girard. Okay, so they recognize that, and we are spearheading that drive to reach out to the business community, to any current businesses in Girard. How can we assist them in making their place and beautifying their storefront, their facade? Anything we can do to help, we are going to do. So Rite Aid is first. The downtown empty buildings, obviously. We've got some vacant, old vacant properties on South State Street that I'm working with those property owners right now on. Actually have a meeting with one of them this afternoon when I get back to the office. So got plenty of opportunities there for them, though. So I think moving forward, we're going to see a lot of different businesses popping up on the 422 corridor, as well as the downtown. And the big project, though, at the end of the day for us is Girard Lake. You know, it's funny because I think Girard Lake, if I say it to, I think I brought up to the students that I'm working with here at TCTC, who are in Chris Duran's class. And by the way, Chris does a great job here. I asked them if they knew where Girard Lake was. I'm not sure that any of them knew where it was. I think if I asked, and I told them they shouldn't feel bad, if I asked anybody from Girard, probably 90% of them do not know where Girard Lake is. When we bought Girard Lake in the mid-90s, Girard and Liberty Lakes, it was called back then, I was a city councilman and was one of the key people that was spearheading that. I viewed it as an opportunity for us to have additional resources and additional land. It's all been annexed into the city of Girard. Part of it is in the Girard City School District. I would love to see the rest of it in the Girard City School District at some point. We're working on grant money. Right now we're waiting on final results of a study that was done by engineers that was mandated that we do by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources on our dam. So the earthen dam there at Girard Lake. So the one lake, the lower lake, the dam was breached and that lake was drained many, many years ago under the last administration. The cost to fix the dam, I guess, was cost prohibitive. That's what the story was. I'm really not sure if it was or not, but it is what it is. So that's kind of wetland property now, which there's a program for trading off of wetlands that we need to start looking into. But the upper lake, I've had some developers up there that have looked at it and said it is one of the most beautiful pieces of property in the state of Ohio. There's 175 acres of water, and there's another few hundred acres, 300 or 400 acres of land. The infrastructure, the water and sewer lines, has been moving slowly up Tibbetswick Road. So we're getting closer to having infrastructure all the way to the lake. And once we do, we will be dealing with developers, and we will probably have some public hearings to hear what the community would like to see up there. At the end of the day, we kind of have an idea, but we certainly want people to be engaged in the process and have some ideas. You know, it could be anywhere from just leave it recreational, which does not work for me personally because of the cost. I mean, we can't just sit on it and keep paying to keep the grass cut or stuff. And it's really not being managed. It hasn't been managed very much at all. I mean, I was up there last year before I took office, and there's a lot of people up there that are there trespassing on that property, really. We don't have the manpower to secure that property safely right now. So once we develop the property and turn it into get a revenue stream coming out of that property, that would justify adding some more safety services to police that area properly. So, but that is the future. It could generate millions and millions of dollars. It could generate millions and millions of dollars for the school district. I have to talk to the school district about some ideas that I have moving forward, but very exciting stuff. It's all exciting stuff. We work with the Port Authority, and we'll be working closely with the Port Authority on a project like that. We work well with the regional chamber. Sal Ponzio and I go to as many of those events as we possibly can, with the Eastgate Regional Council of Governments, with the Trumbull County Planning Commission. All have Girard connections in all of those places. So we're going to utilize those connections and find grant money that has not been coming Girard's way over the last number of years. Well, the other thing I will point out is that we hired a grant writer in our second month we were there, and they've already paid for themselves. I mean, we've already got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of grants that we probably wouldn't have gotten, and so they're worth their weight in gold. And I'm working with them every day. They've applied for, we've got about 7 or 8 grant applications out there right now, and it's only going to grow. Anytime there's anything involving a grant, we contact them. One final point I'll make on the future is the Wellman Theater downtown. You know, we've already got council last year set aside their last $150,000 of ARP money from the pandemic to the theater. And then our grant writers, through Senator Sandra O'Brien's office, which we're thankful of our relationship with Senator O'Brien, she secured us an additional $300,000 for that theater. We will probably enter into an agreement here very soon with the Millennial Theater Group. Joe Ascente is in charge of that group. Girard guy. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And our grant writers have told us that if we partner with a nonprofit on the theater, it opens up a whole other arena for us as far as getting money. There's more foundation money that's available for an organization like that rather than just pure grants. So we'll continue to go after grant money. We'll continue to go after, then we'll begin to go after foundation money once we've secured that contract. We've agreed with a handshake agreement. We just got to get the paperwork done. So, and then get council's approval. Once we get there, we'll start working on plans for the theater, getting actual renderings. Right now, what we've done is we've got bids out for the asbestos removal. So part of that money that's set aside from last year's ARP money will be going towards the asbestos removal project. So the bids have come in. We're just in the process of contracting with somebody, and you'll start seeing activity down there probably after the first of the year, maybe sooner. as far as asbestos removal. But that's all I have for this this show. I appreciate everybody's time. And I want to remind everybody that as I have been the announcer for Girard Sports for many, many years, I just have to remind everybody that if you can't play a sport, be one. Thank you.